trying to reconnect. Welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm going to give it a minute or so for any of the late stragglers, if you will, to join us. Give me about 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes. We're going to jump right into it. If you're already online with Facebook, if you get a chance, just type in a comment, start asking any questions that you want to ask in advance. Otherwise, during the demo, any questions that you have, type them in. And Sam is here. She's attending the computer and monitoring the questions as we go along. So she'll be asking me any of the questions. She might even just type in some responses if they're just that straightforward. But in the meantime, we'll give it just about a minute or so. Okay, so let's begin. So my name is Dean Southey. I'm Vice President of Sales with RPG. I'm joined by Sam, who is in our marketing department. Sam, you got to get up here and wave real quick.
All right, I will. Hello, how are you?
Thank you, Sam. So today I'm going to talk about the RPG PlanView system. The base system that we sell is two pieces. It's a 55-inch touchscreen monitor attached to an electronic stand. The electronic stand comes with a corded remote that gives you the ability to raise the monitor and lower the monitor. It goes pretty high, it goes down to about a tabletop height. And it also allows it to be at a 90-degree angle or completely flat. So it can be used as an actual table for people to collaborate on. You can have it slightly tilted and kind of use it more as a drafting table. If you wanted to, in the old days, you pull up plans and do estimating or drafting, whatever. Well, now you can actually use your programs, your everyday business applications, to pull them up on the screen just like you would a normal monitor. It just happens to be 55 inches wide and a touchscreen, a giant touchscreen. So I'm going to straighten that out a little bit here, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit more further about the monitor. Everybody hear me okay? If you cannot, please type in, you need more volume. Otherwise, I'll keep rolling along here. So this is the little welcome. What you're looking at right now is just the controller on the monitor. There's a little mini PC, if you will, built inside this 55-inch monitor. It's a full HD monitor. We also can get the Ultra HD monitor, where the resolution is, even far greater than you're going to see on this one here. The Ultra HD, the glass itself has a little more shine to it, so just be warned that when you have certain type of lighting, it doesn't work as well as the normal HD monitor does. I'm sure another model will come out in the next year or so, and they'll have that all taken care of. But in the meantime, let's kind of show you what comes with just this monitor without attaching it to a computer, a laptop, or anything like that. I'm just using this monitor plugged into the wall. So you have the ability to have what I call the kiosk function. One of those functions in the kiosk, if you will, is this whiteboard, if you will. So I discovered something that's kind of cool. I'm going to move over here. If I go down here and I say, okay, I want to draw on this thing, I can actually collaborate with someone else. It's a multi-touch point monitor. So what does that mean? That means that I can have multiple people doing something at the same time, and actually, adding information or moving things or whatever. So what you see here, my little welcome, I discovered today I was going to go clean the monitor real quick. If you have the right type of object, which is just right now this little napkin, I was really going to wipe my face with it, but this napkin here, it just thinks that you're using it as an eraser. I thought that was kind of cool. So anyway, this is the whiteboard. You can do what you want on here, save it. You can print it. You can email it. You can do whatever you want. So if this actually was a collaboration that you wanted to, you're sketching something up as just something to get a point across to somebody, you can, again, save it, print it, scan it, whatever. I've actually used this many times at trade shows when I had people talking about, hey, well, can you go into Bluebeam? Well, maybe we're talking about Bluebeam, for example. Can I actually create a symbol? Well, what kind of symbol are you talking about? Is this something that, next thing you know, the person comes over and starts drawing it for me and saying, well, this is going to have the thing here. And it actually looks more like a person, but either way, you get the point. You can go in and create things. And of course, you can go back one step at a time and erase it. So that's one of the functions of just the monitor. I'm going to go hit the monitor button here. That was what they call the viewboard light. I don't know if you can see that very clear here, but that's what that kicks in. You can access a cloud drive as long as you have a network plug in here. You can access folders that are on this monitor. You can hit the browser button, again, as long as you have internet access, something's plugged in here. You can hit the settings and adjust things. You can get picture-in-picture, which means, okay, maybe I have my internet access on one side and I'm doing some freehand drawing on the other side. And then any Google app you can download, as long as you have an internet access, onto here and use those. And some of the Google apps that are out there are kind of cool, allow you to actually use this as like a directory for a building, where it would be, okay, what floor do you want? Do you want individuals? Do you want to look at companies? You press a button, they pop up a map of the building, things like that. So there's a lot of things you can do with this, which I think makes this, just the way it stands right now, kind of a neat thing. Again, an adjustable stand goes up and down. The screen tilts, right, 90 degrees. So you can use it for a group of 50 people in a big room. Has great speakers on it, and be able to cast out some learning events. Or maybe you're doing a Bluebeam studio event where you have a whole bunch of people trying to work together here and all. Lay flat as a table, same idea. You're working with a bunch of other people through Skype, whatever, and you're all looking at the same thing, making edits and whatnot, and they're seeing it live while you're doing it. So this is the kiosk function, okay? So the monitor itself, the touchscreen monitor itself, the stand, if you're in our regional area here in the Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Richmond area, we will receive it here, put the machine together. The monitor comes separate, it's a different manufacturer. The stand is very heavy, it's heavy duty. The monitor is very heavy duty, it's very heavy. It's designed to actually be in job sites, let alone an office, so it's designed to take a beating. The stand is on wheels, it's designed to roll in and out of places, which we do all the time to trade shows and all. So the monitor, the stand, RPG receiving it, putting everything together and delivering it to your office in a straightforward roll in, up an elevator type thing, not stairs and all that, is going to run you around $6,500 for these two components. So what other things can you add to it? Well, obviously, you're going to want to have your world attached to this monitor, not just run it as a kiosk. So to do that, you're going to have your laptop, a computer, whatever, network plugged into this thing, and now your world is going to be displayed on here. All of your applications from Revit, Bluebeam, Procore, whatever the tools of your specific job are to get it done, you can run them off here as well. So that said, you can get a computer, a standalone computer. Right now I have underneath here, there's a shuttle PC computer. And the shuttle PC computer goes for around $1,500, thereabouts. It's a very powerful computer. You can also get what's called an HP Z1 computer that you can attach onto the back of this. You can actually get a bracket and attach it onto here. That one's a little more powerful, and that one runs for around $2,300. Finally, if you're in a secure environment, or if you just decide it's a little easier to deal with it this way, there's a slot in the back where you can take a couple screws off and put a slot PC designed to go with this monitor directly into the unit itself. And that's designed so that, okay, if you're in a secure environment, you need to lock up that hard drive at night or swap out hard drives, you can actually just take that one out, put it in a safe at night, next day come in when you need to use it and throw it in. So again, some people just like the security of having that anyway, to lock it up and really make sure the secure data isn't walking out the door, somebody's taking it out of there. So that's the different computer options that we can provide, and obviously you've got your own world with your own programs loaded up and ready to go there. So let's take a look at going from the view of this world over to, and I'm going to hit just this button, fourth button over, and it's going to say, okay, what connection would you like to go to? Right now it's the embedded player. This has a little blue dot. I don't know if you can see that okay, but this little blue dot down here tells me that HDMI 1 has something attached, the only other thing. Now it's going to kick into that PC computer back there, which is on the internet. So in here, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at different files and folders and things like that. In particular, I want to look at this one particular project that we've been working on here. So here is something that RPG provides. It's called our RPG Vault Closeout system. So I figured this is a nice thing to show you the type of flexibility that the PlanView has and all. So you have, in this case, it's just a project that's, the closeout's done. And they're actually using this at the facility and they're keeping the thing alive. So that would be the, the maintenance folks, facilities folks using that. So, okay, what do I want to look at in this case? I've got contract documents, subcontractor closeout documents, warranties, subcontractor drawings, the actual CAD files, as-built CAD drawings. The one up above it, that's actually a live Revit file that can be updated. The other one's just AutoCAD files and whatever application they were using for the subcontractors. There's pressure tests in here. There's training videos in here. And then there's the original project contact directory. So if it's a closeout project, it's just the day that thing was built and they signed on the dotted line and everything was paid, that's how that world existed, that building existed. Then you can take it and keep the thing alive by constantly updating the project contact directory, the new engineers, the new contractors that are involved in that building. Tenants can be added, things like that. So let's take a look at a training video, for example. I have the volume cranked down because it can be very loud, but you'll get the point. I just clicked on that. If I needed to work with the sprinkler system on this building and nobody, the original players involved are gone, a new property management firm's in there or whatever, this has got some explanations on some customizations that were made, or just in general how the install was done. Whatever. It's kind of nice to have that right here available to go instead of the traditional world of a file cabinet or hanging files or whatever with just a bunch of plans and a bunch of sheets of paper and maybe some other stuff on the computer. This kind of keeps them all together in one world. So now I'm going to go back to the original folder here. Let's just say I want to look at some contract documents. I want to look at the plans. In this case, so mechanical, since we're just kind of in that world a little. So now I want to look at a drawing. Let's just open one of these up. Now it's a touch screen. The beauty of a touch screen is I can just zoom in, click and zoom and go to town with it. The application I've opened this up in is Revit. If you're not using Revit already today, you'll probably find that in the world of construction at least, it's becoming the norm. It's replacing Adobe Acrobat, if you will. Adobe Acrobat was made for the everyday user, whether you're doing it at home, or you're on a PTA board, or you're in an office that's not dealing with wide format plans. Adobe Acrobat's a great product. So Adobe Acrobat would open this up and work great as well, work great on this monitor. But the world that we're in, the design and construction, project management, facilities management world, a lot of people are really working with Bluebeam today because it's taken Adobe Acrobat and kind of jumping it into that world. It really is designed for design? Yeah, I guess so. Designed for design and construction, if you will. So I'm viewing this in Bluebeam. If you've worked with or are working with Bluebeam, you'll know you have all these different tools that you can open up and do all kinds of things with the plans. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to go into one of the tools in here I want to measure. So I want to measure the square foot of an area. Very common for people if they just want to do a quick takeoff on the screen. I'm going to give myself some more screen. All of this can be adjusted. So once I'm in that mode, again, I'm going into measure, I'm hitting square foot. So now I want to measure, say, this area here. As long as you have your Snap 2 guidelines set up, it's extremely accurate without having to go crazy, with getting it perfect. It'll go find those corners and be dead on accurate with the Snap tools. So right now I hit those numbers, I connected the dots, if you will, and it came up with line 1 down here and said, I have 52 square feet I just measured. So if that's flooring, carpeting, whatever, boom, I've got that information ready to go. So Bluebeam obviously is a very popular tool that a lot of people are using today. Works great on this. The units that we've sold and placed out, this one actually is going out Monday to a customer. Our demo models actually had another customer that's looking to get like a dozen of these in a bunch of different offices. So this was actually sold going out the door. Most of the customers that are using this, that's exactly what they're doing with it. They're doing takeoffs, estimates, and things like that. Some architectural and designing engineering firms are using it for collaboration. They'll have a studio area where people get together and they have an issue they're trying to work out. And so instead of just trying to do it virtually from different monitors and all, they'll come over here and they'll use this either on the table or in this type of environment here and have people sitting around and coming up with a solution. And then they might, like I mentioned earlier, use it to live, like we're doing right now with other folks who could be collaborating with them, and switch from screen to screen and all, just like you would your normal monitor. That touch capability just makes it that much easier. So it's a big change from the days of hard copy originals. And where I see this as the quickest in with some folks is you might have somebody in the office that says, look, I have to use hard copy. I have to have a set of plans in front of me to do takeoffs, for example, to do estimating. And I really need to get out there and find stuff and mark it up in color and everything like that in order for me to get my estimating done right. And then you have the kids that are just out of college and they come in and they don't want no parts of that. They don't even know what that means. They're working off the screen and they're working off the screen only. So RPG, what's put us on the map, if you're not familiar with us already, is we are known as an equipment sales, service, and supplies company. Wide format equipment. So I would zoom and show you the room, but we have a ton of wide format equipment in here ready to go out the door. A bunch went out the door this morning and all. People are still printing out their plans big time. What they're doing now is they're printing them out in color and black and white, not just black and white, because the costs have come down so dramatically. So the people that are young coming out of school, they don't care about those printers too much. Occasionally they might need to print out some plans so that they can actually sit there with somebody else and do something, or take them out on the road with them or something like that. But really what they're thinking of doing is having something like this. They're thinking of taking tablets out in the field. We're starting to get into a world where you're going to have not just the virtual reality goggles. Those are the ones that you can't see outside of them. Maybe you've got one at home. They're very inexpensive these days, where you're sitting there and you're watching a roller coaster ride and something, you feel like you're really there. Well, you can't take that out in the field because you can't see. You're enclosed in that world. Mixed reality is the next thing, where you're seeing through them like a pair of glasses, only it has an app on there where you click on it and all of a sudden you're seeing a BIM model. In other words, point cloud data points inside the BIM model. You're in the appropriate space, it sees what the 3D model is, and you're looking at a building, but you're actually in the real world. So you might be in a building that's just got the structure up, but now you're looking at the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, all the different layers that you can turn on and off, like you would in the design world on the screen, only it's live. So anyway, that's taking away from the printing world, and those young folks that are just getting out of school, they're the ones that's their world, and that's what they want to see. So back to the folks that really want that sheet of paper out, and that's their world, they don't want to leave it. This is a nice entry point to get them into a more digital world. Because again, you can pull up the plans, you can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can dance around, whoops, if you're in the right mode, you can dance around the drawings, you can flip from one drawing to the next. So it gives you a lot of flexibility that before all you had was a bunch of paper on the top of the table, and you hope they're the current drawings. That's another thing. With this, at least you can always be working off the current drawings when applicable. So using this monitor for drafting, estimating, project management out in the field, and then facilities management down the road when this is actually a facility that's been built. It's great. Picture this. Going back to this file right here. Okay, I'm going to shut some of these things, get them out of my way, make my screen a little bit bigger. Getting back to this file right here. Imagine you're in facilities, and again, the old day you have file cabinets full of plans and whatnot. We've been into so many of those circumstances where we go in and they say, we want you, RPG, because we also have production facilities, to scan in all of our drawings from this building, or buildings, whatever, and then we're going to organize them and everything. When we go and do that, we find more often than not that there's duplicates galore, and nobody knows why. Some of them are the exact same drawing. There's 3 versions of them. It doesn't mean, this one was, revision 1, 2. This one was, addendum that. Bottom line, they were the exact drawings, but they had them all over the place. So it's very disorganized. It can be. Don't get me wrong. I understand a lot of people are very organized with that, but it's only as good as the person managing that. And if they leave and somebody else comes in, or another firm comes in to manage a building. So this could be that all those plans, all the specifications, all the warranties that I mentioned before on here when I hit record documents. This could be all of these things sitting in a hard drive inside of this monitor, backed up in another location, so that if anything ever happened to this, the computer died, whatever, you have it backed up daily, nightly, whatever. Okay, well, we'll just get another one and keep the ball rolling. So now you have this person in the basement of a building, or in a facilities management building, office, and they have access to all of this stuff. Think about this. You could also have it so that EMS folks, the police department, the fire department, whatever, can have access to this as well. You have a major thing going on, the facilities folks are at home, they need to access that stuff. This can also be backed up online, and so now they can have access to it as well. But how nice would it be to just be able to come and say, look, I need to look at one of the warranties in here. I need to look at the excavating warranty. We're having some issues there. So I'm going to open up that file. Boom, there it is. Everything you want to know about that warranty is right there. That's pretty easy. That's a lot better than looking through those drawers just to find out somebody took it out and never put it back. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm pretty sure it does. Do we have any questions at this point? Sam?
I think it would be good to do like frequently asked questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. So one of the questions that we get commonly involving this particular, no, I don't want to say that, the plan table is, and I kind of danced on this a little bit before, but is it designed to go on a job site? Yes, this is designed to go on a job site. It is a sturdy device. Don't get me wrong, if it's not in a lock box or in a lock cage at night, it does have wheels and it will roll out of there. It is a nice piece, and if people see it, obviously they're going to want it. I don't know if you can see behind me back here a little bit. Can you see that, the Connect box back there at all, Sam?
Yeah.
Okay, so behind me here is the Connect box. You can get smaller versions of this. Like right now we have a 32-inch touch monitor screen inside a Connect box that can be knocked up at night. So we have our bundled, it's got printer in there, it's got a computer in there, wireless keyboard, mouse, things like that, and then the big 32-inch monitor. So there's one way to deal with that on a job site, like a mini version, if you will, that can be truly locked up at night. And you really need a crane or a forklift to get that thing out at, after hours and all. Another typical question that we get is involving different, okay, I've got an old Windows 10 system, I'm sorry, an old Windows XP system that we're running an application on, and we still need to keep it alive. Is this compatible with that? Keep in mind, you can plug anything into this. As long as one of like 5 different types of cords can be connected to it, from the old RCA and different HDMI, there's all different types of ways you can plug into this. Doesn't matter. It's just projecting whatever you plug in. So from XP up to Windows 10 and whatever's next. Question?
Yep, we have a question from Spencer. He asks, how easy does it tilt down?
It's got it. Spencer, thank you for that question. Good question. It comes with a corded remote. Does that have Spencer's last name by chance?
Brown.
Yeah, I thought that was you. Hey, Spencer, how you doing? Working on a quote for you. This has a remote control on it, a corded remote control that you just simply hold the button down. You can actually, okay, maybe I want to lower it and make it flat. You can do them both at the same time. So again, I have a big presentation going on. I don't want to have this thing so that everybody in a big room can see it. I was at an event the other day at a large engineering firm. They had about 100 people in a room. It was an all hands-on type meeting. They were using their plan table that they got from us, the PlanView, for that meeting to show a message from their CEO out of Denver, I think it was. And it worked out great because when they got done, there was a bunch of questions, and they were using that whiteboard, if you noticed that, that whiteboard to kind of address a few things and all. Good. Answer that question, Spencer. Hopefully that covers that for you. Any other questions?
Not at this time.
Not at this time? Okay. Please, if you have any follow-up questions for us, place them on Facebook. Just pop those in there, and Sam's going to be monitoring those, and we'll get back to you right away. Otherwise, pick up the phone, give us a call. If you don't have the number, and again, we'll post it on Facebook. I like that. Let's start our own Facebook. Post them on Facebook, and we'll get back to you right away. If you're interested in getting one of these, just, again, get a hold of RPG, post something on Facebook, and we'll get back to you right away on that. If there's no other questions, I want to thank you for your time, and we really appreciate you doing this. We look forward to doing more events like this constantly with different new technologies as they come about. For example, just to throw this out, we have a little bit of time, we're looking into 3D laser scanning capabilities, the ability to provide the service or a rental of the equipment for folks to go in and do a 3D laser scan of an existing condition. We're looking at drone services to be able to go out and get, data, point cloud data information for you to dump it right into a Revit model, architectural Revit model, things like that. Lots of things, lots of different things, because as I mentioned earlier, we're trying to figure out what's next. When people say we're not printing anymore, or we're trying to go, literally trying to go paperless, we want to be relevant. We want to make sure that people are still relying on us for their visual document viewing capabilities. Hard copy, 2D, black and white, 3D virtual, whatever. So again, thank you so much for your time. And further questions, post them on Facebook, and we look forward to answering them for you. Again, have a great day. It's Thursday, getting close to the weekend here. Take care.